All right, everyone. Hope your Tuesday is going well. Um, on my end, repair is complete for the Lectric XP uh, electric bike. So essentially, what I did was I just basically replaced the two tubes. You checked that first video I did yesterday, I think it was. Yeah. Um, it came in with essentially with two flat tires. And so what I did was I went through, found whatever little thornage was going on in the tires, went ahead, replaced the tubes, right? Then I just maintained it basically. It had been sitting a long time. Uh, you know, hit the bearings there with some lube, clean the chain, lube the chain, adjusted the brake. There was a lot of rotor noise. Because like when you mount these hub motors, when you mount these things in, it's a real tiny sweet spot with all this stuff. And essentially, what happens here? Let me go ahead and just show you. It's like literally, it's almost like when you're torquing down like the head. Like if you ever like built an engine or something, and you got to torque down like the head, right? There you have to like there's a sequence, right? So you don't just like torque down one side and then torque down the other. You have to kind of like torque. You have to torque the derailleur side first, right? But not all the way. Then you come over to this side and you tighten it down to where it just starts to grab, right? Then you go back over here and then you tighten this one down maybe like quarter of a turn. Then you give this one maybe like a half a turn. Then you give this one a half a turn. Then you give this one a quarter of a turn. And then you give this one a little bit of a turn because then this one's going to start getting real tight. And then that's when you snug tighten this one, okay? And I had to kind of do that a little bit to get it to where the road, because this is like, look at where the road, let me see, if I put my finger there, okay. You see there, look where this bracket is. And these are just things I find when I work on this type of stuff. Like, look how much space is in between the brake rotor and the bracket. Like you can see a sliver of space between there, right? So what you can't do is actually push it. You see that right here, there's actually a little bit of adjustment room, but not based on how this is sitting in here, right? To center this motor to get the derailleur right on point, because you need that you don't need the chain to be jumping gear cogs because the derailleur is not mounted correctly, right? So that's what I mean. You got it. This is the part where it takes a little bit of adjustment. And I was getting some rotor noise. It was scraping the inside. So I had to do the torque down process again. And then I was able to adjust the top part of the caliper over slightly. And then we got no noise, right? So, and then in terms of a ride impression, I mean, it basically rides like a typical, 20-inch fat tire e-bike that's hub motor based. Ride is very similar to the Razor Rambler 20. I will say this bike has a lot more bulk to it. It's a lot heavier than the Rambler 20. The Rambler 20 is super light compared to this. The Rambler 20 also has a slightly wider tire. This is a 20 by 3. The Rambler 20 has a 20 by 4. Okay, so the Rambler has more of a cushiony ride. This has more of a city/cargo bike type of ride. Okay, I'm not saying that either one is better than the other or anything. I'm just basically giving you my impressions on how the rides feel between two similar class e-bikes. Both of them are class 2. They both top out at 20 miles an hour, right? See, so really it's just about, okay, well, what's the difference in terms of ride quality and stuff like that? The other thing that the Lectric has on the Rambler 20 is a derailleur. So there's, I think it's 7 or 9 speeds? 7. 7 speeds. So on the pedal side of the game, you do have your choice in gears. Whereas at the Rambler 20, it's a single single freewheel gear, right? So you do have your choice of gears when you're riding on this one. I mean, pretty good bike, man. Oh, and it's also a step through. Okay, so step throughs largely, the ladies prefer step throughs typically. Also for delivery and stuff, step throughs are very convenient. It's very easy to just get on and off the bike, right, to get your deliveries off. So step throughs are always good. From a utility standpoint, right? Even the rack has a 35 kilogram, which is what, like about 20 something pounds, 22 pounds or some shit. Um, Weight limit on the back, or it might be more, but it's 35 kilograms. You can see it right there, max kg, right? It's pretty stout bike, man. I'm not even gonna lie. It's built pretty damn good. You have to really do something to like break this thing. Okay, it's a pretty stout bike. Rides good, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's my review and just an update on what was done on the Lectric XP. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give the dude a call and let him know his bike's ready. All right. If you have any questions about this, let me know. One key feature that I do find kind of peculiar is there's a key on-off switch on the bottom, man, and I just don't particularly care for that. I really don't. That is such a weird thing to do, but I guess all these things have some sort of quirk that I'm not going to be happy with. All right, you guys have a good one. Peace.